guys, it's Jackie. I'm back today with an updated makeup routine. Sweaty summer edition. It has been so hot and so humid in New York City, which inspired me to wear less, but we still want to look cute. I've also got my hair cut recently, which is just in time for this heat wave. I've posted a little vlog, so I'll leave that up top as well as down below. First thing I'm going in with is this eye cream. I love this one. It's from Clinique. I just find that my concealer wears really well on top of this. I love how this smooths over my skin, so my concealer does not crease. I also like to bring it up to the crow's feet area because I do laugh a lot, so I'm trying to prevent wrinkles there. I love how this cream is like a little on the thicker side, but it blends out really smoothly. While we're waiting for that to sit in, I'm gonna fill in my brows really quickly with the e.l.f. brow pencil. This is in the shade neutral brown. I'm gonna go in ever so lightly. My most problematic area is just the front right here, and then I kind of just go over really quickly and lightly towards the end. I also like to furrow my brows so I can like really see that arch. Taking a brush on the other side, I'm just gonna brush it out. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Even though it's super hot and humid out, my skin is still screaming for hydration. I usually go in with a moisturizer or a hydrating sunscreen. Today I'll go in with this one from La Roche-Posay. I love this stuff. It's super lightweight and it doesn't leave me greasy. I'm gonna squeeze a dollop on the back of my hand like so. Then I'm going in with my favorite bronzing drops. These ones are from e.l.f. I love using this stuff with a moisturizer or my Innisfree sunscreen. It mixes really well with these two. After mixing it on the back of my hand, I just place it onto my cheeks, and then you just kind of rub it all in, and you can tell already my forehead is looking so bronzed. I like mixing it in circular motions to really break down the bronzing drops because sometimes it could leave streaks. Then I bring whatever's left onto the neck area, and already you can tell how bronzed up and hydrated we're looking. Now we're gonna let this sit in just a little bit before going in with the rest of our makeup. I really should get like a fan for this part because it's getting a little tiring. Okay, it's been like 30 seconds. It feels pretty dry to the touch, like it's not tacky anymore. Next, I'm going in with primer, and this step is crucial in having your makeup stay all day. I've been loving this Power Grip setting spray from e.l.f. I love the Power Grip primer, but I feel like this works just as well as a primer, especially if you don't want to be rubbing it all over your face. The spray is perfect. Give it a really good shake so it's all mixed in, and then we're just gonna apply it generously all over the face. There are some slight bigger drops, so I'm just gonna go and pat those in. Usually let it sit for a little bit before I apply anything else.
A few minutes later.
Now I'm gonna go in with concealer. This is my favorite one. It's the Tower 28 one. I love this so much. It's not a Jackie makeup routine without this concealer. And for reference, I have it in the shade MDR. I like to apply most of it onto my face, and then whatever's left on the applicator, I'm just gonna spot conceal. I do tend to have redness in the cheeks, so that's what I'm gonna spot conceal. And then I do have a little friend here creeping up, so I'm gonna put that over there and over here. For a bit more coverage, I do like to let it sit for a little bit longer than I usually would. After 30 seconds to a minute, I'm gonna pat it in with my sponge. When blending it out, I like to use the tip of the sponge to disperse the product. Then I'll go in with the end of the sponge to really blend it out. After the concealer, we have to go in with another layer of the Power Grip setting spray. Trust me, trust the process. This will lock your makeup in all day long. For this layer, I mainly sprayed it on the upper half of the face where we have our concealer. Next up is blush, and I typically like to stick to cream blushes. The one we're using today is this Ilia multi-stick. I have in a shade At Last. Usually go in with a brush, but lately I've been loving just using my fingers. I typically just warm it up with my fingertips, and then I just apply it directly onto the cheekbones. One layer is usually not enough, so I go pretty heavy handedly with this. So here's where we're at. The blush is a little bit more cool tone, especially now that I've bronzed my face. But knowing me, one blush is never enough, so I'm going to go in with my Patrick Ta. I have in a shade She's Blushing, and I'm going to go into the cream part, but I'm going to be using a brush just because this stuff is super pigmented and I want to go pretty light-handedly. So a brush is like the perfect applicator for this. And then taking whatever's left, I'm going to go over the eyelids really quickly. Now, you guys should know the deal by now. We have to set our face after every layer. But for this step, I'm not going to go in with the Power Grip setting spray. Instead, I'm going in with this Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. Give it a really good shake. I love using this as a final setting spray layer because it really locks in your makeup all day long. We're going to use one generous layer. While we're letting this set, I'm going to go into the eyes really quickly. I do have a lash perm from my last video, but it's been a couple weeks now and I've noticed some of the lashes have fallen a little bit. So I'm just going to go in with my eyelash curler just ever so lightly. Next, I'm going in with my favorite waterproof mascara. This is the Maybelline Sky High and Waterproof. And if you live somewhere where it's super hot and humid, or if you sweat a lot, I highly recommend this one. It is completely smudge proof. I like to take a spoolie to fix the lashes that are like curled weirdly. The thing I love about this mascara the most is that it is non-clumpy. Like, the formula itself does not clump. But if your lashes are like curled weirdly, it will hold it in that weird position, which is what I am trying to fix right now. I'm gonna go in with a second coat after that one is dried. Then I'm taking a Q-tip to clean up my eyelids. You have to do this pretty quick because once the mascara dries, it's kind of hard to. Okay, last step of my routine is setting powder. I typically don't like to look this glossy all day, so I'm going to set my face with a little bit of translucent. This one is by Makeup Revolution. I do like to take some onto a powder puff and then rub off the excess before going into my under eyes. Next, I'm going to go in with a super fluffy brush, tap off the excess, and then we're going to go right into the rest of our face. For preference, I like to set the corners of my face first, right underneath the blush. And then whatever's left on the brush, I like to just tap it in over the blush. That way we're not completely rubbing it away because blush is typically the first to fade. Then because I'm extra, I'm going to go in with a powder blush. This one is from Dior in a shade Rosewood. I'm taking a super fluffy brush, tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to go over the blush. Obviously, we can't forget about the lips. I've been recently obsessing over this Roman Melting Balm. It is so good. I have in the shade Kaya Fig, and it's this really pretty pink color, which typically isn't my cup of tea. But when I apply it sparingly, it looks really nice. I typically twist it a little bit, and then I just dab it onto my lips. I have another shade in Nougat Sand, and that one is my ride or die. It's currently in my purse right now because I refuse to leave my house without it. That shade is more like My Lips Butter, which I'm more comfortable wearing, but because this shade is more on the pinker side, I don't ever swipe with it. I only ever dab my lips with this. I can still feel that same formula. It's so hydrating. Last up is highlighter, and I know we already look so glowy, but personally I've been really loving highlighter recently, so I'm gonna go in with this Clinique one. I'm gonna take it on the other end of this brush, and I'm just gonna slightly sweep it over the cheekbone area. It gives you the most natural highlight, which is why I love this stuff. It also doesn't emphasize any skin textures at all. Like, you guys know me, I have a severely dry skin, dehydrated skin, and I always get patches around my cheeks, but this highlighter I love so much. Also, can't forget about the nose. And voila, here's the final look. It is pretty natural looking, I would say. This has been my makeup routine for the past couple weeks since summer has arrived. With this minimal amount of makeup on, my skin can still really breathe. And if you guys haven't noticed, I did skip bronzer in today's routine. I just haven't been really reaching for it ever since I've been getting my tan on. I've been spending a lot of time outdoors, especially for tanning, so I feel like I don't really need the bronzer to look bronze. I know I'm looking super glowy on camera right now, but I swear to you, I am so dry. Like, I can touch my face and nothing is sticking to my fingertips. I have been wearing this makeup even on the hottest and most humid of days, and let me tell you, it does hold up. The only thing I will say that I do touch up on is the nose area, because I am super oily in my T-zone, so I typically do carry blotting sheets, but I mainly use it for around the nose area. Besides that, everything does stay on really well. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's little makeup routine, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.